The rumored Kansas City Chiefs bias in the NFL has become a really, really hot topic. In fact, Patrick Mahomes addressed this yesterday in his press conference.
I've kind of learned that no matter what happens during the game, that something's going to come out or about if you win and you continue to win. So I don't really pay attention to it. I mean, obviously, I've been on both sides of it as far as how I felt the calls were made. But at the end of the day, man, those guys are doing their best to make the best calls and keep it to where the players are making the plays in the game, and that's what decides the outcome. And there was a call here or there that people didn't agree with, but at the same time, I think there was a lot of other plays that really decided the outcome of that football game.
Okay. Did the right thing, compliment the officials, doing the right thing. I've been on both sides of this. Now, nobody's suggesting that there's a scandal. Now, some in our audience have suggested that the NFL somehow wants the Chiefs to win. But the penalty disparity between Kansas City and their postseason opponents is hard to ignore. It's, you start to look at the numbers and you go, all right, there's something there. Warren Sharp, who's a football analyst, found that since 2021, the Chiefs have benefited from a staggering penalty disparity. This in the postseason. Over 11 playoff games, Kansas City has never had more penalties than their opponents, going 10-1 in that span. 36 penalties compared to the 66, with their opponents. That's a lot. That's not one of those, okay, kind of close there. 66 to 36. The penalty disparity does raise questions here. Now, you can say Kansas City's at home. You're going to get more calls. There's discipline here. Andy Reid has instilled discipline on this team. Maybe it's luck. Maybe it's something else. But it's hard to say that the statistical anomaly hasn't benefited the league's best team. The numbers are there. And there is this perception. And this is what all these leagues fight against. The NBA, David Stern, boy, you want to drive him crazy? Talk about how, these officials benefit the stars or certain teams, and he would be apoplectic. He'd go crazy. This commissioner, I have no idea how he feels about this. I would feel bad, or I'd at least be aware of the perception that the Chiefs get all these calls. Now, is that going to mean that the commissioner says something to the officials? I don't think so. But the officials want to get the call right. Do I think that Mahomes flaunts the protect the quarterback rules? Yes, I do. And he's acknowledged that. I don't blame him for doing it, but then I don't blame somebody taking a shot at him at some point. Somebody's going to. Is it going to be in the postseason? Is it going to be worth it? Does the team or his players or his teammates say, we'll pay the fine? You know what? We'll take the 15 yards. We want to make sure that he doesn't continue to do this. But if you look at those numbers, just the raw numbers there, I don't think you can go, it's nothing. Even the biggest Kansas City Chief apologist, Nick Wright, can't look at that and go, that's nothing. I will say that you're at home, you're going to get more calls, or you're probably not going to be guilty of, the crowd noise bothering you. Like, there's certain things that go, and most teams will probably get the call, and there's a penalty disparity between home and away. But these are postseason games. And that's where you have a really good team coming in. And they have discipline as well, or they wouldn't have gotten to this point. So there are numbers that are there, and it doesn't help the perception that the Kansas City Chiefs get all the calls.